moving along on this progression also is what we need to get at the why. So if we're stuck on the what, if we're focused on the what, and we're trying to move to the why, using these annotations can be another good step. So that question of like, they're just focused on describing individual data points, great. They're here. They're on this first step of highlighting individual cases. And you can even physically have them highlight those individual cases. But then if we want them to move to be able to look through all of the different data visualizations, we need to help them zoom out on the data visualization. So we need to move beyond just focusing on individual data points, which is where their eye naturally goes as novices. Excuse me, just a second. But we can use these steps of annotation of, okay, now focus on and physically draw around a subset of the cases, or physically draw a shape around all of the data. So what we're doing here is a variety of different things, but we're giving them a pathway to follow with these 4 steps of annotating the data. We're giving them a routine to use and to practice, and we're giving them ways to see different parts of the data and the patterns, get their eyes directed towards the kinds of things we pay attention to when we are working with the data. So all around, we are helping them sort of build out these data skills as they are also physically drawing on the visualization and making sense of it, sort of stepping through and realizing that they need to look at these different scales, at these different components of the data visualization in order to make sense of it, in order to get to that claim that they're trying to make, or a conclusion they're trying to draw, or the why that might be happening, because we can't say why from individual data points. But if that is where their eye is going, then how do we help step them through? So really encourage you to take a look at this Draw on Your Graphs resource, where we break it out sort of what those different steps are for a variety of different data visualizations. What could that look like? What would we be drawing in? This is a way you can pair this with the I-squared strategy. So identify and interpret, or with the notice, think, wonder. But this is a way to like actively get kids to connect those 2 pieces, from the like notice to think, or the, like I notice this and I think that, or I identify this and I'm interpreting it as that. That in between, that bridge cognitively has a lot going on. So check out this resource, the Draw on Your Graphs resource, as a way to help bridge that gap, or as a way to bridge they're jumping from conclusions, they're jumping to a conclusion without looking at evidence in the data. Well, if they're annotating the data, then they've got some pieces called out in their annotations that they could use as evidence, like they're identifying and drawing on different parts, different features of the data as evidence that they can use for their conclusion or their claim as they're going through.